Hello there and welcome back to Inside the Man Cave, where I showcase my pop culture collection. My name is David Danger88 and in this episode we are taking a look at the McFarlane Batman Cowl Collection. We've got 4 different Batman cowls to have a look at and they are great. Now these are the smaller sizes. We don't have the life-size ones because I just can't fit them in my man cave, but we've got some really cool special ones. We've got the very first appearance of Batman from 1939. We have the Batman 66 cowl from the TV series. We then have Batman 89, one of my favorite Batmans of all time, and my second favorite Batmans of all time, Batman the Animated Series. So we've got 4 different cowls to take a look at. As you probably have seen on this channel, I am a pretty big Batman fan, and when I saw McFarlane doing Batman cowls, I had to grab them because I do love the McFarlane Toys. They do such a great job. So could they do such a great job with cowls? Well, we'll soon find out. But again, these aren't the life-size ones because they are quite large and I just can't fit them. I might maybe get one of them down the track, but these are great to display in a smaller man cave that I have. So let's take a look at the very first one of the origins of Batman. So to start us off, we have the very first Batman from Detective Comics, issue 27 from 1939, and it is the original Batman, and he is quite menacing. Now, when Batman first came out, he wasn't as campy as some of the other ones, or he was quite violent. He even used guns, and he would often fire different sort of mafias and everything to go after them, and criminal gangs. But this was a very ruthless Batman, but it was the Batman from 1939. So yeah, they've got the capture pretty well of how menacing the original mask is. So let's take a little bit more look at the box. We've got the side view, we've got the classic Batman logo there from I think like the 1970s or 80s, and then we've got normal Batman sign, because I don't think the original Batman had a Batman logo. But this is the original comic book cover from May 1939, issue 27 of Detective Comics, where they introduced the Batman. And look, he's just holding those criminals. It was 10 cents, which is probably worth now like 10 million, and he was actually called the Batman. Starring in this issue, the amazing and unique adventures of the Batman. He wasn't called Batman, he was called the Batman. And 64 pages of action. So this is what people bought in 1939, which they probably didn't even understand was maybe going to be like a one-off character, because it was designed to sort of compete with Superman. Because Superman was huge, they wanted another hero to go along with Superman and maybe compete with him. And yeah, if they only knew how big Batman would become. But that is a cool image of the original comic book of Batman. And then here we've just got the other side view, which you saw at the start, with the first appearance, Cowl Batman. So let's open him up and have a better look at this cool, unique piece from 1939. have the original Batman from 1939. And again, he's looking even menacing outside the box. And they've done a great job. So here is the base plate where it says Detective Comics, issue 27, 1939. And then the cowl on top. So I'm really glad that they actually had two options where you could get the bigger version, a life-size version, or if you don't have the space, you can get a smaller version. And I think I haven't got a bigger one, but I do think they're both as good as great. There are the cowl ears right there. You got the back part, and then yeah, just the side view. So it looks really good. I'm pretty pleased with it, to be honest with you. Because I thought maybe the detail would slack off a little bit in the smaller versions, but they really haven't. Like, you can see all the different creases and just the eye, menacing eyes and everything. So they've done a great job. And again, they really wanted this Batman was very different to the Batman we all kind of know now. He was very much more violent of the times, and maybe back in the late 1930s it was very violent days back then. Who knows? But there is the Detective Comics 27 original Batman. And from the 1930s to now the 1960s, we have the classic TV series Batman Cowl, wear famously by the legendary Adam West. This is a series that I loved. It was sort of my first introduction to Batman. I wasn't around in the 60s, but I did find this series when I was quite younger, and I loved it, especially watching the original Batman movie. I watched that over and over again as a kid on VHS, which I still have today. But this is the McFarlane Batman 1966 cowl, so it looks pretty cool, very screen accurate, I reckon. We've got the side view over there, and then a great image of Batman himself, Adam West. I think that might have been, well, it's from the series, but it looks like it's even a shot from the Batman movie, but it's all the same universe anyway, with his famous Batmobile and the Bat phone. So that is a really cool image to have. And then you've got the classic logo in there, and then with the 66 replica. So let's open this Batman one up and take a closer look. Here we have the classic TV series Batman from 1966, and it is looking pretty fantastic. It's a very unique cowl they did. I even like how they did like sort of an eyebrows and everything there. It doesn't obviously look as menacing because this was a lot more wanted to do more of a kid-friendly Batman, or let's say very campy Batman, but I still love this Batman, and Adam West did such a great job. So here is this classic cowl. So you got this cool side view. So the bat ears are actually a lot smaller on this cowl, but it still works well. And then the sort of blue sort of finish. But that also represented the comic books at the time from the 1960s. He did look a lot like this, and sort of on different campy adventures and everything like that. Because it wasn't until maybe the 80s until Batman became a bit more darker. But this is still a really cool Batman to have. And they did again such a great job. The texture and the finishing touches on this is really good. Oh, I don't want to lose Batman there. And then you've just got the stand, so it's a little bit flimsy, but it still works well. You wouldn't have it like over or anything like that, because it would fall off. But overall, it's a really great addition to the Batman legacy, and it's one I will cherish because it's one of my first introductions to Batman. So there is the Adam West Batman classic 66 cowl. From the 1960s now to the 1980s, and my favorite on-screen film Batman with Michael Keaton's Batman from 1989. And this cowl is iconic to me. I absolutely love it. Now, Michael Keaton did star in 2 different Batman films with Batman 89 and Batman Returns. You would think maybe the costume and cowl would be very similar, but they're not. The Batman 89 costume is very different to the Batman Returns costume, cowl. So I'm hoping we will get a Batman Returns cowl because it is different. But it looks great. It looks very accurate to the film. They've just done a great job. McFarlane just do a fantastic job. I can't ever fault them, really. There we have the Batman 89 with the classic Batman logo. And at the back, we've got a really cool classic image of him in, I think that was one of the first scenes. Actually, maybe it was in the factory when he was coming face to face with the first time with Jack Napier, aka the Joker. So that is a cool shot, cool black and white shot of Batman, the 80s Batman, and then we have a really big logo there, and then the 89 cowl. So this one's really great. I'm going to open it up. I don't want to talk too much more. Let's get to the unboxing of my favorite Batman. Here is Batman 1989 out of the box, and it looks magnificent. Michael Keaton's Batman. Now, just the detail on this, even just through the camera lens, it doesn't do it justice. And there you've got the logo plate with Batman 1989, the Batman logo emblem, and then the mask itself. I mean, they've done a great job. I really like the design of it because it kind of reminds me of almost like a spider web, how it's like wrapped around the cowl in a way. It's really, really cool how they've done it, how they designed it back in the 80s. There's a cool side shot of it. And yeah, it's all about sort of the menacing eyes, because, you know, Bruce is very much behind this mask, so he can only do so much with his actual face, but the justice of the eyes they've done in this cowl is just, yeah, it's very menacing. So it's a fantastic cowl. I had to pick it up. I do hope they will do Batman Returns cowl. I think the cowl is kind of similar. The costume is different. The outfit is different. But the logo, the logo is very different. So I would hope that most of the cowl would be the same, but they would get a different logo. But either that, I'm happy to have this one in my collection for one of my favorite, pretty much my favorite on-screen Batmans, with Batman 1989. And from my favorite film version of Batman to my favorite animated TV Batman, this is Batman the Animated Series cowl from the early 1990s, and it looks really cool. They've captured sort of the cartoon animated way of the Batman cowl, so they've done really great. This is this is the Batman that I absolutely love. As much as I do love Michael Keaton's Batman, I have a special place for Batman the Animated Series and the legendary Kevin Conroy, who voiced Batman. So we've got the cool side view over there, and then a classic Batman Batman shot from the 90s, and yeah, it's great. Really, really great. Captures the sort of essence of what that show did. And then you've got the classic Batman 90s animated logo, and then there with the cowl. So let's go ahead and open this one up. Batman animated series cowl, and what a cowl it is. It's actually probably out of the four the largest cowl I have, and it's from 1992, so very cool, very 90s look. Again, as I said, they've really captured the animation in this cowl. As you can see, the sort of the blue tilt to that. That's the sort of side view that we've got, and then the long cowl that goes quite long. So it's a much longer cowl than any of the other cowls that we have, because I think it also connected very much to his cape, if I can remember. But there it is. So it's a really great looking cowl. It's one of my favorite looking cowls, and I just love the blue tint they've done from the top part all the way down to the side view. So they've done it well. You've got the menacing eyes, the white eyes as well. That's very common in the Batmans, and even the Batman 39 had white eyes as well, the original Batman. So it's sort of a montage back to him. And this series was very much like a callback to the original version of Batman, and it's one of the greatest Batman animated shows of all time, or even any animated shows of all time, if I think so. Yeah, so I really like it. You've got a massive mouthpiece here, and yeah, it just flows really well. The cowl flow, because I didn't realize, now looking at it, how big the cowl is, because you can only see it so much in animation form, but really close up, so I can only imagine the larger size of this would take up a lot of room, but I'm happy with the smaller size. So there is the Batman the Animated Series cowl from 1992. We finish where we began, with Batman from the 30s. Well, thank you for joining me on this really great journey into my small but growing Batman Cowl collection. I do want to hopefully get more. Again, McFarlane has done a great job. You can get these in larger size, in full scale Batman cowls, or just the smaller ones. And I say the smaller ones are, I reckon, just as good, because the detail in these, again, are absolutely out of this world. And McFarlane, again, has done a fantastic job. So thank you for joining me. I will hopefully maybe get more of these, or at least Batman cowls that actually have meaning to me, and all four of these have meaning to me. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next Inside the Man Cave.